All right, let me just read them out loud. We have the Page of Chalices. We have Death. Two of Wands. We got the Nine of Swords as the overall. The overall card is my most important card. And this says to me that you are facing a situation that is leaving you confused and stressed. It might be a difficult situation, like this guy is facing this menacing looking creature who's about to eat him. And mind you, he doesn't actually looks pretty startled if you look up close. Now, it's not as extreme as I would have expected with some sort of creature like this looking at someone. But regardless, you're facing a situation that in your mind is difficult. And so you're not sure how to confront it. And you're almost like startled just staring at this in front of you. And that's the vibe that I'm getting. Now, this has to do with someone reaching out. Page of Pentacles. This could be an emotional connection or a very emotional message. And here's an ending. So a situation may have ended and you're being informed that a situation is over. And it could be that that's tough to deal with. And it leads you having to make a choice. What do I do now? That is the question. And I feel like that choice is what's stressing you out because you're facing a difficult decision and unsure how to confront that decision or choice in front of you. Let's get a card for the Nine of Swords. Okay, you have the Star though. And this guy, oh my God, the Ace of Swords. Every time, I think almost every sign but one had it. Star. So not all is lost. You do have hope there. You're not like sitting in a corner crying in your sleep. You're actually anticipating things working out in your favor. There might be some fear towards what you have to confront, but you're attempting to figure it out. You're attempting to get that clarity and cut through any bullshit, any confusion to make the right decision for yourself and get to the truth of the matter with the Ace of Swords. So clarity is coming. On some level, you could be afraid about the choice that you want to make. It's like you know, but you're afraid of it. Two of Wands. There's a choice being made. Where are you leaning? Where are you leaning? All right. It's about a person, the King of Swords. So someone is obviously the focus. That's the word I'm looking for. The focus in your life. It's this person. Now, you have to make a choice about them. What about them exactly? You're figuring out what to do where money is concerned, or you're figuring out what to do what's fair. It could be that you're splitting money between you and this person and that's stressing you out. This could represent divorces for some, or just like there's definitely a separation that's coming up here. Money's involved, a split of assets. I feel like even though these two actually look quite peaceful, so this could be civil, a civil situation, it's still difficult nonetheless. Figuring it out, or at least stressing you out, but you still have hope, so the difficulty is minimized. Anyway, this King of Swords is attached to money and splitting money between you and this person. What can you tell me about the King of Swords? Judgment. Maybe this is someone you haven't heard from some time. You've been split for a while, or maybe you were even talking about rekindling a situation. This could also be simply big news tied to the King of Swords. Let me get more information. I feel like this is closure. The world here is, it's like ending a situation in the best possible way. And this being something that's being shared with the world, as in friends, family will know that the situation is going down, but it's okay because it's happening in a civil way. Now, despite the fact that that's the case, I think that internally it still upsets you, or you're just afraid of the situation. For instance, as a relationship, maybe it's going to be the first time in a long time that you'll be by yourself. And there's some level of anticipation for that, but there's also some level of fear. Maybe you're afraid of losing something of value because the other person wants it, even though, again, I feel like the connection between you and the King of Swords is very civil. Death. What's ending exactly? So this ending comes in and it ends a life of burdens and responsibility hanging over your head. You get to put these down. So I think that you see this ending as a benefit to you, whether or not it's difficult. because it's kind of like carrying a weight on your shoulder. Like, you know it's dead, you know it's done. Now it's time to put the final nail in the coffin and let the burden go. It could involve a child as well, just in general. I did not ask for any particular card for this to be clarification for. So I do get the vibe that this is just general communication that's happening. It's very straightforward and blunt, and or it involves a child that's in the picture. Page of Chalices. What news? What else does this Page of Chalices share? This is coming from the Emperor, so someone who's very dominant in control. And this could be you as well, that you're controlling your emotions and how you deliver your own messages and how you're communicating to maintain control of a situation in general. Or this is simply the person that you're communicating with. This could be a husband. This could also be like a boss as well. And I actually see it less as a boss, even though it could be. This could be a partner. And you two, let's say, founded something together. You decided to separate, but you're doing so in the best possible way. There's no hard feelings, just stress as to how the separation is going to go. And I feel this sense of control being maintained by both sides, honestly. What else have you got to say overall for this week? No need to worry. The week is going to end on a high note. Everything will be clear. There will be no stone unturned. The sun illuminates everything. So if you felt like there was something you did not know or you needed clarity on, that's coming. And I do feel like, as I've said, despite any negativity that you might feel, any stress or anxiety, you're going to be content with the solution and just the way situations end for this week. So there you go. Some of you are focused on an actual trip or traveling, news about travel. We have two travel cards here with the Six of Swords and the Eight of Wands. This might even be a spontaneous trip that's coming up. Some of you, even though there's an element of spontaneity in this trip, you've been thinking about this for a while or have saved up quite a bit of money to be able to do so if you wanted. Now, for some, this is patiently waiting. It could be you're waiting for someone and it's information that's it's news about someone that's coming or traveling to see you, and you're expecting them, you're waiting for them to confirm. I would see the Page of Pentacles as that confirmation that they are coming or arriving or intend to go. This could also be, Page of Pentacles could be the receipt of money or any form of news tied to money or a job. Or I do sometimes see it as letters in the mail, like bills or whatnot. If you were waiting for anything in particular, that could be coming in the mail. This is just a weekly reading, so I like to think about things that are very minor as well. But you've been waiting to hear about this, and this could be about where you live as well as the Six of Swords, or again, simply about the trip. It's like maybe now that the money has arrived, you can book the trip. Something like that is what's coming up in my mind. But let's get more clarifiers. All right, I got my miniatures here. So we have information news with the Page of Pentacles. What is that about? What are you being told? Whatever you're being told, you are happy about it. We have the Ten of Cups. There's emotional fulfillment. So in terms of money being received, you are satisfied with the amount, especially if... Is this tax return time? This is tax return time. So that could be the thing for you. Or, this is just general news, again, that's favorable to you. If you're waiting for any results, or... what do I want to say? Or you're applying for jobs, things of that nature, where you're expecting, again, that letter, or someone to reach out and tell you yes or no, or... here's what the deal is. Whatever it is you're hearing, you're like, yes, I'm so happy that this is the case. Thank you for contacting me. This is the Fool. Some of you are ready to start fresh and are excited about this news as well. There is a new adventure coming up here. This money could also just lead to you being able to buy something or do something that you've been wanting to do that will be emotionally fulfilling for you, especially if that's a trip. And we've got the Moon here. We've got the Tower. There is a quite dramatic shift. I think your feelings, I think that this week might be more important than it seemed at first, with the Tower and the Moon there. You might have an overwhelming sense of emotions tied to this information that's coming in, but I think it's for the positive. Yes, we have the Page of Wands, more good news. All right, Six of Swords. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. We've got success and committing to this. Sorry, a card just flew out, and let's see what it is. If I can pick it up with my no-nails. We have the Eight of Cups. Some of you are leaving something that was turbulent. It wasn't working for you anymore. It was too much trouble. It was constant like fights or issues getting through situations. So you're leaving something that may have been a long-term commitment and you want to leave. So that's all right. It's not like there might be some emotions involved. Like for instance, in terms of a job, you liked your coworkers, you liked the way the place looked and there's an attachment there, but something wasn't working and you're moving forward. You're networking with other people. You're being very involved socially with the Eight of Wands and the Three of Chalices. There's an element of you that is appearing detached, but we also have the Magician here. So you have a very active week. You're making big decisions as well. Two of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. You are definitely waiting for someone to get back to you. And whatever this information is important and may involve money. Or you may have been waiting for some time. This could also represent that decision because this guy is making a choice between two things that he feels connected to. On the one side, you might feel more passionate, and the other side, you might feel more of a traditional likeness towards it, or might feel safer, something like that. And you're weighing your options. But for others, this could definitely be waiting for a partner to come through on a situation. That partner could be the Queen of Swords. This is a detached energy that's appearing, and that could be who you're dealing with, and that's why they're just taking their time to respond, but they will respond. We have Judgment. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune, so we've got the turn of the tide, change happening. It's quite random, it's out of your control, but it does happen, and I think that represents the good, happy news that comes up over there.